Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Brewing Live, all new season. This is episode 109 for mental preparedness in the new landscape of living amidst challenges in our present time. And Brewing Live is a community service of DCAP Copy Republic, our coaching hub, and home of certified life coaches here in the Philippines. And in partnership with Life Coach Philippines, our heart here as game changers is to brew mental fitness in the space and help nurture holistic mental health to you and the people that matters to you. So shout out to all of the game changers, to all of my fellow game changers in there in the digital space. Maraming salamat for joining and advancing life coaching ethically and authentically. And giving is a lifestyle that never gets out of style. And thank you for supporting the works that we do here by you can bless us here at the Cup Coffee Republic with your food and beverage order. This is the thing that we're doing every single day for the last couple of months at 12 noon, and serving you and serving the digital space with learnings, with education, with things that would allow you and empower you to make the necessary change in your life, in your family, and the people around you. We also have delicious vegan meals and fresh guyabano for easy switch to healthy eating. And we also have sausage platters, waffles, and cakes of your favorite classic comfort food. Please check our FB page for the menu of sumptuous meals and refreshing decks, and connect with Coach Rezzhel through 0917-586-1661 to bring the Cup Cup Republic experience to your space and to your place. We are open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your orders and pickup and delivery. So if that is something that you're looking forward to, you want to order, we are open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. For other ways that you can support our community works, you may now give stars or love gifts and fund transfers. Just check out the caption on this video below, and the video bank information, and also the GCash account that you are looking for. And if it's something that you want to share, just give some love gifts in there. We would be utilizing that to fund our missions and also the things that we're doing to help the digital space. If you have joined me for the first time, maraming salamat. Welcome to the space, and thank you for being here. You may circulate this video and link and invite friends in there. Give them a tag in there, give them a shout out in there. Let us know, let them know that, hey, let's do some learning, encourage them, and send out some motivation out, so that they can be their best version, and just acknowledge, and express some gratitudes to those people that have, inspired you. At times they do. We're able to forget people in our space, and we're able to not connect with them because of the busy times that we have at work and the things that we do in our life. It's a great opportune time for us to just settle down. It's a Sunday afternoon, just relax and make that connection. All right. And as for me, let's just want to give a shout out to all of the mental model correctors out there inside the Be Learning Society by Master Coach A. Special mention to all of my fellow bronze badge holder. I think it's only 1 month now, and we're gonna be on silver badge holder. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm super excited right now. If you are not yet a smart holder of the Be Learning e-card and you are still missing on the perks that we are enjoying today, today is the best time to take action. Connect with Coach Rezzhel through 0917-586-1661 to join the Be Learning Society. It's a tent maker of the Be Learning homes for mental fitness. And what you will get out of this, if you take advantage, you will get a 5% food and beverage discount at Teacup Cup Republic. You will also get a full access of the Mental Model Masterclass by Master Coach Hay, happening every fourth Saturday of the month, plus the benefit of getting or taking advantage of the 90-minute free coaching session with senior coaches from Life Coach Philippines. And save the date, it's going to be on October 30th. O yeah, malapit na, at 7 p.m. for the next Mental Model Masterclass, as Master Coach A will talk about the Thought Leadership Mental Model Mastery. If you are someone who has this mission, who has this calling, who has this heart to share your message, to share your thought, to share your idea, to make lasting change, this is the best space for you. Make an investment of this class, learn the Thought Leadership Mental Model, and discover how the 21st century knowledge entrepreneur will change the course of the future generation. It's not for us anymore. It's going to be for our children and their children's children. And the knowledge that you have in there, the heart that you have in there, the thing that it's being impressed in you is something that we need to get out there so that we can inspire and change and help other people to thrive in their lives. So for if you are someone who is able to connect with that, for information and registration assistance, please connect with Coach Rezzhel at 0917-586-1661. So before I begin, I would just like to acknowledge all of those coaches and non-coaches who are joining us. Maraming salamat. Thank you, Coach Tin. Ayan, my better half is there watching. Master Coach Yasmin, maraming salamat. Coach Arnel, thank you very much for joining me this wonderful Sunday afternoon. Coach Rizal and Coach Maureen, maraming salamat for joining me this wonderful Sunday afternoon. I hope you are doing well. You've eaten your lunch. If not yet, thank you for joining me this lunchtime, and let's start learning. Moving on today's episode, I will be sharing to you raising men in the digital revolution. Please do tag your friends, forward this video to anyone that you feel that would benefit in it. Let's have them join a conversation for mental preparedness. All right. So if this is the first time you're joining me, if this is the first time you're seeing this face, this is the first time that we come across together. I am life coach Shaun, the man from Pasig City, a professional co-actively co-create life coach, and I'm also a certified mental health coach from Life Coach Philippines. I've been a father since I was 19 years old, so very, very early when I started. I'm 39 years old right now. The journey of being a father at an early age is way, way different than what I envisioned. You know what? Even when I was started, I didn't really know what to do with being a father. I was like, okay, provide to my family, and maybe my wife and my parents would take care of all of the other things. But I realized there's just a handful of things that you need to be mindful as a father. And I've been a father when I was 19. It's 19 years now that I'm a father, and it's something that I have two children who I'm taking care of. They're age 19 and 16 years old. I have a daughter and a son. And one of the things that I realized, and as along as I grow along in the life coaching profession, been in the life coaching profession for 3 years now, that has changed the way I am responding and I am acting with my children. The old school way of parenting is no longer working because of the changes in the digital space, and it's something that we need to start changing. We need to start creating co-creating with our children as we move along the way. One of the things that I would like to share about me is I'm not normal. I'm clinically diagnosed with adjustment disorder with depressive mood and anxiety. So I have this emotional dysregulation where I have a tendency to respond in extreme cases when I experience negative emotion, which sometimes becomes problematic in behaviors. And at times you have these suicidal thoughts and intense anxiety, which is one thing that I'm being helped at with Master Coach A as my coach. I've invested in 1 year program with her that allows me to have clarity, that allows me to be focused, and allows me to be in control. That is one thing that I'm doing right now, is being in control of my emotions, that I don't respond in ways that are detrimental to the people that I love and detrimental to me as well, and also taking care of the future generations, because I want to make sure that my child, and my son specifically, which I'm going to share to you this afternoon, is able to learn the things that I haven't learned when I was growing along, and I can instill that to him so that he can respond in better ways than I had before. So thank you very much for joining me. What I do as a life coach is I empower men to be mentally fit so that they can stay inspired to live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. That is something that I want to instill to the people out there, especially to the fathers out there, to the men out there who have this future of wanting to create a better future and wanting to have a better family, and a family as well. Something that I really want to be able to change, and I hope and I pray that is something in your heart as well. You might say, "Yeah, I'm a woman watching this." Every one of this has something that they can put in that space. But as a mom, as an individual, we need to be able to help the men out there to start making the change, because men out there have significant influence on their children. Even if they're present, they're absent, they're somewhere else, influence of the men is highly, highly significant. So I hope you're connecting with me with that. That is my heart. So before I continue, thank you, Coach Lynn, Coach Nords, maraming salamat, Coach Candy, Coach Sherry, thank you for joining me, and Coach Marifer, maraming salamat. Coach Arnel, maraming salamat for inviting people in there. And as a life coach, I teach and coach men to live, to love, to learn, and to love, and to live a legacy. The ending is really allowing the men to live a legacy that they would say that if it's their time, it's a picture of a day to die for. That is something that I help men with. That they would say that, hey, I've done my mission in here. That I'm not living a life of regrets, and I've done all of my part, the best of me. I put that in, and I'm able to live that and instill that to my children. If you are watching this on a replay in the future, comment in their hashtag replay and send us a message if you wish to connect with any of the points that I'm sharing to you that you resonated with. If you may find this in YouTube link on the description below. If you're watching it on the replay, if you want high definition, utilize that. You can share this video to others as well. Please do subscribe to this channel so that you'll be notified for future learnings when video becomes available. All right? Now, young people today are more connected than ever. And when I say about more connected, I'm not talking about the physical connection. I'm talking about the connection over the internet. We're talking about the digital revolution right now. And it's uh, before there, prior to the digital revolution, there was an industrial revolution, right? Where people specifically are working on industrial businesses. And what happens, right? When you go through your education, you are being trained for an industry. That's why there are different courses, different college degrees in the school in preparation for an industry. That's why you have engineering, you have nursing, you have architecture, you have accounting, you have different types of industries that you are being prepared for. And as you graduate, you are being put in there on this specific type of industries. But of course, because of the digitalization and the change that the way we see things, the way that we see education up this time, and even the way that we are investing on our time, our money, our resources, on our improvement has significantly changed. And in the countries with high rates of connectivity, people that are aged between 15 and 24 years old are generally outnumbered on terms of overall online population. So imagine that 15 to 24 years old, there's a lot of people in there that in our digital space that are consuming information or are sharing information. This is based on the research on 2016 by International Telecommunications Union. So matagal na to, ha? And imagine now, it's 2021. So you have more people, you have more new generations age 15 and 24 who are engaged in the digital space right now. And it's something that's happening. And the young people have shown more preferences for using the internet. The young generation are using the internet is specific for gaming, specific for chatting, and specific for social networking purpose. And this is the research based on Durkee et al. Last 2012. And I said it's past now 2021, and the interaction and the conversation that we're having right now, and you see in YouTube and Facebook where there are gaming sites, there are chatting conversations, social networking and connections whatsoever. And these are the things that's increasing right now. And in the Pew Research Center surveyed that 92% of teens in the US going online every single day. So imagine 92% in the US, what more here in the Philippines, and 24% are saying that they almost go online constantly. If you compare that in the European countries, it shows a similar story. And the data also suggests that children are online using multiple devices. Or maybe you are someone like me who has a laptop, a cell phone, and another cell phone for my work. Now you are interconnected and you are being connected. And same goes with our children right now, right? They have their laptop, their desktop, and they have their tablets or mobile phones that they're using as well. So they're interconnected in all in everything, right? In every situation. And what Coach Sherry, especially ngayong pandemic, more pa ang nasa digital space. Yeah, that's true. And that's really what's happening right now. Thank you, Coach Seibel, for joining me. Maraming salamat. Thank you. As a teacher, you being a teacher is something that I truly, truly appreciate as well. It's something that would change also the teachers out there. Shout out to you. I'm super thankful for all of the things that you do. It can be stressing at times, right? But that is what really we need to change right now, is to completely educate our children, the children, in different ways. I believe in radical approach, that we need to utilize the old ways and the unique ways and create something that's emergent out of there. And that's something that we need to start moving. So why am I sharing to you? Why am I sharing this information to you? Um, it's important for us to help our children be susceptible in developing their brains, which is called plasticity. Maybe you've heard of this, some of the coaches who are talking about this, right? Neuroplasticity, or experiencing dependent on change. Because neuroplasticity is something that all of us have. And for our children, there are more, when they're growing up, there are more, have that elasticity and plasticity on which that their brains are interconnected. And plasticity, if you define that, is the quality of being easily shaped or molded. So if our children are constantly used to change, constantly used to education, learnings, and so on, then they can continuously learn a lot of different things. But for us, for me specifically, as an old, as in the middle part of my age, at times I can have this cognitive biases and I have this belief that I don't want to change. But for your children, that's a totally different story. And since I'm talking about the brain in here, neuroplasticity, or the brain plasticity, is the ability of the nervous system to change its activity in response to either extrinsic, which is your intrinsic stimuli that you have in there, your values, your beliefs, your attitude, or the extrinsic stimuli, which is the behaviors, other people that we have in the surrounding, by reorganizing its structure and functions and connection. And when you see, what happens is our brain would respond to our life experiences. Our brain would change to our life experiences. Kaya nga importante yung environment. When we talk about mental health is not specific to it's not the same as mental illness, because mental illness is what's happening in your brain already. But when you talk about mental health, it talks about the environment. It talks about the ecology. It talks about the way that people are having a conversation with their children, having conversation with other people. If it's a positive mental health, it means that even if you have a family member who has a mental illness or mental health condition, then they would still be functional and productive. And as a child, in a child specifically, that is where the time that the children has high plasticity. It means that they are able to consume more. They're able to are prone to changes, and whatever they experience, whatever they see, whatever they hear, whatever they feel, that is something that changes them along the way. And these days, what happens? The reality is, there's an increase in the mood changes and also the arousal of our children, which individuals have a long-term effect on the way they feel and the way they think and the way that they respond. So imagine if you know someone who is constantly consuming negative things in the internet, in social media, and so on. How are they responding as well in their posting? How are they responding to stressors? How are they responding to pressures? And you might feel and you might think that, hey, maybe they it's because they have a bad attitude. Not really. It's just because of the influences that they have, of course, starting with neuroplasticity when they were growing up, and also what they are consuming right now. And the more children overuse technology, the poorer outcomes we see when they grow into adolescence in their physical, their behavioral, their attentional, and also their psychological life. So all of these things are being affected. Yan, go teachers. Yan, Coach Saibet. Alam mo, uh, I believe that the parents are the first teacher of the children and the teachers are the second. So this is important that both of the teachers and the parents are in synergy of the intention of teaching their children. And then that is something that I've learned, hopefully that I have learned when I was starting. But again, yeah, you need to deal with that already and make the change right now, because I cannot change the past. What I can change is today to create a better future. And again, when I talk about plasticity, the brain plastic is suggests that what happens is the experiences of the individual is based or is changed on the way that the brain is functioning. And childhood and adolescence are periods of rapid development and maturation. So, pag nagtatanong ka, why is my son or my child acting that way? Reflect on how you as a parent were raising your children. Because more often than not, the children responses is the way that we are acting, we are teaching, we are educating our children. That is what's happening. The ecology in the environment that the parents create is the one that's nurturing their children to be good person or a bad person. Really depends on how our children are responding to it. And based on this research, during the first 3 years of life, a child's brain may create over 1 million connections. So, ang daming connection. 1 million connection per second, which is essentially good for developmental of various functions such as learning, such as language, such as cognition. And this is based on the research on the Center of Developing Child back in 2009. So imagine that when whatever we're doing, whatever our children is experiencing during the first 3 years of the child's life, it's already creating the foundation of the children on how they hear, how they respond, how they, analyze things, and so on and so forth. And it creates the foundation for higher order functions such as decision making. And over time, this would mature. And you might say, dapat ba pag teenager marunong na mag-decide ng buhay nila? I tell you, based on research, hindi naman daw. People who are mature in making decisions, usually that happens when they are in an adult stage. More than 25 years old over, that's only the time that they are more, inclined or more empowered or know more on how to make good decisions. But as a teenagers, they're still learning. Kaya pag minsan, as parents, huwag yung pagalitan yung anak nyo pag mali yung ginagawa or may ginagawa na hindi alinsunod sa gusto nyong gawin. Di ba? Your child is not like you, and you need to treat them as very, very different than who you are so that you can equip them and they can make necessary decisions for them to be better. And remember, as I've said, the life experiences of the children and the things that you allow them to experience will impact the way they sleep, the way they cope with stress, the way they manage their life, the way they manage their eating, the way they manage their movement if they're sedentary, and the way that they manage their relationship. And for those fathers in there, you might say, bakit pinag-uusapan natin to, Coach? And why am I focusing on raising men in my title? Well, the father out there, for those fathers, if you're watching, you're a mom, and maybe your husband is somewhere else, doing their things. The fathers are the one who creates a model for their sons. Very important fact that I've realized time and again, which I hope that, I was taught this way. But as I've said, the further as you learn, the more that you change and you become better. And what happens in the environment when you want to create and prepare on how to raise men in the digital revolution is we need to be intentional as fathers on how we're raising our children. And same goes for the mom out there. Maybe your husband, your partner is somewhere else because of work, right? How do you take care of them? Well, the basic aspect that we need to come into an awareness is a boy will seek approval from their father at a very young age. That is the reality. That is where, the son would look up to their father. They will look up to someone that someone that is taking care of them, and they would seek approval. And as human beings, we grow up imitating the behavior of those around us and those people who influence us or are takers, and we follow them and learn from them. And as a father, we need to be intentional and deliberate about how we are treating our sons with respect, because the boy will grow up the same way as we are treating them. So if we are treating our sons in a way that it's not empowering them to be in control, to be more courageous, to be more confident, then as they grow up, they will act as such. And they would do something to survive rather than thrive in their life. And being intentional means that we are intentional on what we teach them, what we allow them to consume, and what we allow them to see. If a father is absentee, then what happens is the son will look for role models so that they behave and they can survive in this world. Now, unfortunately, in the question in there is, who are the role models that they're following? That's why in research, fathers, absentee fathers, what happens is the men or the sons are likely to do things, negative things that will affect them in the future. That they would be unruly. They would have friends that are not going to help them, do drugs, and uh, be able to experience things that's not in alignment. So, what do we need to do to be mindful about raising men in the digital revolution? I'm just gonna teach you three things. I'm gonna share to you three things that we need to be mindful of. And again, for the moms out there and for the fathers out there, just three things that you start reflecting on helping your children. Number one is ask them or ask yourself, what do they watch? What we consume, we become. Not just the food, even what you watch, what you read. These are the things that we consume, and you need to help our children use technology as a tool of learning and education. When I say tool of learning and education, that means that you are empowering them to make the right choices for them to what to consume so that they learn and they become better in the conversations and their relationship and the work that they do, and also their purpose and their mission in their life. And what they watch must equip them to create lasting positive change in their life and also in their relationship. So that is the first time. What do they watch? Number two is, what do they play online? Gaming has been implicated, that's affecting the brain regions such as responsible for the rewards centers. That's why a lot of people like games, because every time they push a button, they see the outcome already. They know that the outcome will be good, the outcome will be bad, and this is why the gaming experience is influencing a lot of our children. However, when we are not intentional about helping our children in this area, it can have a negative mark in the child's behavior, and it can be a risk in gaming addiction. So, what are your children playing as of the moment? How is this affecting their behaviors and the way that they respond to you? And lastly, who are the people that they follow in social media? Children these days have less interaction with their peers, especially face to face, probably with the parents, you, right? And social media has expanded the way that our children create networks and connection. Before, in my age, I utilized SMS, MIRC. Maybe you're familiar with MIRC. But based on research and Pew Research Center in the US, in 2018, 35% of teens surveyed used Snapchat, and they used less and less FB and other social media platforms. So imagine how your children, how they're being influenced by who they follow in social media. And this is something that we need to start being intentional about, how we're helping our children. And the role of a father is very significant in developing the son's emotional development. Because the way that we as men, specifically me, as I've said a while ago, I have emotional dysregulation because I was not trained, I was not taught towards how I manage my emotion. It's affecting the way I make decisions in my life and also in my relationship. And it goes the same way too for my son. I have a son who's 16 years old. And when we are able to help our children manage what they watch, what they consume, what they hear, what they feel, because all of the influences in the digital revolution is changing the way that our children is thinking right now. And the only way for you to get a grasp of it and empower your child and your son to be in control is for the father to be there to teach their children, develop their emotional, the aspect of their life. Because when we're able to help our children be more expressive, verbalize their feelings and their emotions, there are and we are able to support them well. And as I've said a while ago, the son looks up to their father. That's really what's happening. The father needs to show the human side of life through showing vulnerability, telling their children that, hey, at times they're not okay, and that at times they need help too. If the men continuously show up as strong, that they know everything, they can solve their own problems, I tell you, the children we have, their son will have a challenge on seeking for help, will have challenge reaching out to you, because they have this expectation in which men needs to be this kind of person. And in research, you can take a look at this. Men are 3 times likely to commit suicide than women. And the difference with that is because women are being taught to express, men are being taught to be tough. But we know, as human beings, there are some bad days, there are some good days, and there's some low days, and we need other people to support us. As men, teaching our children, our sons, we need to help them become courageous. Become courageous that, hey, it's okay to seek for help. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to be helped, so that they can be supported in their overall well-being and eventually they become confident. Let's help our child become aware of how their mindsets and behaviors are influencing the way they feel, the way they think, and the way they act. And we need to start supporting them as parents, acknowledge that these are not serving their purpose. And when I say acknowledge, I'm not saying that you need to enforce in them that, hey, you're doing the wrong thing. No, that's just gonna put a space between you and your son. Don't do that. This is where the power of life coaching comes in, because we facilitate the process and we help the individual and our son and the children process their thoughts, their ideas, their feelings, their behaviors, so that they can make the right decision to do the change. Lasting change creates or starts from within, that we realize something and we are aware of it and we start acknowledging and making the necessary change for us to be better. As parents, our presence or absence influences the children or how the children will become. Thank you for joining. Leonard, maraming salamat. Jamar for joining and calling. Shout out to Coach Arnel. Thank you very much. The father will set the bar for the relationship for others. They influence the son on how they will look at life, how they will look at work, how they will look at the relationship, and how they choose their friends, their partners, and also the work that they have. Fathers have a significant impact to how the son will grow up. And they will pattern their life with the father or whoever their caretaker is, and someone that they look up to. And as parents, we need to be able to support our children in co-creating with them a thriving environment. At times you would feel that, hey, my past experiences has helped me so far become a better person or become the person that who I am. But my question to you is that kind of experiences still hold true for your children and for the future? Because the times right now are uncertain. And we don't know that maybe, tomorrow, I have a friends and circle around me that today they're okay, tomorrow they're gone. And how are we equipping our children that whatever happens to us, we know and we're confident that they will thrive in their life? What has worked for us yesterday will not work for us today. That's why it's best for us to create a synergy between the old and the new and do and have something emergent out of it. And maybe you're in a stage right now in which you're thinking about how you're going to help your son so that they can express their thoughts, their ideas, their emotions, their feelings. Maybe you have a son right now who doesn't share a lot, would rather be in front of their desktop or their laptop, not doing anything. And at times you get angry at them, but really the concern that you have is making sure that they will thrive in their life when our time here has ended. And maybe your son right now is not performing at their best. Maybe they want to talk to someone else other than you. If you are someone who's like that, who has a son like that, and you have a heart for your son, but the things that you're doing right now is not working for them, I would like to invite you to message us here at the Copy Republic. Let's help you and your child become courageous in expressing their feelings and emotions to you. That they can finally say that, hey dad, hey mom, or father, or mother, I need help. This is my situation right now. But I want you to change as well, because if you don't change, I cannot express myself. And this is where the power of life coaching comes in. I remember a moment in which my son and my daughter are not expressing a lot with me, because you know, I, I I had a fair share of not so good things that I've done with my children, only to realize that those things will not serve them. And the reason why there is a need for change for the parents, especially for the father out there. And that is my heart, that we need to start making the change as father, because we want to help our children be courageous and we want them to thrive. But of course, we can only do so much. And the only time that we can make that change is to seek help for ourselves, so that we can be the change that we want to see for our children. Help is available. You only need to raise your hands and reach out to Coach Rezzhel at 0917-586-1661. Book your complimentary coaching session. It's free. Have a conversation with Coach Rezzhel on how life coaching will help you and your children, thrive in life. That you don't have to worry, you don't have to be fearful of what your children might be, and you have the confidence and you have that peace in your mind and in your heart that your children will be successful in the future. Thank you very much for joining me today and supporting the advancement of mental fitness. Because of the ongoing MACQ, our free talk on mental preparedness every Saturday at 4 p.m. is temporarily put on hold. But you can still connect with us in any coaching services or coaching needs. It's 24 by 7, and we will support you the best possible way. And if you're interested to become a professional service provider like me, either as a life coach or a mental health coach, please connect with Coach Rezzhel through 0917-586-1661 to know more about the Co-Actively Co-Create Life Coach Certification Program by Master Coach A. We are now accepting application for mental health certification and internship program with limited slots, so that make sure that you reserve your seats with Coach Rezzhel. Maraming salamat. Please do join us back again tomorrow, same time and same digital space, for episode 110, Beating Workplace Performance Anxiety, WFH Hacks, with Coach Tin, my better half. And Cup Republic is located at Pioneer Center Compound, widely known as PC. We are just across Bayanihan Center and Pioneer Road, corner Brixton and United Street, Capitolio, Pasig City. Brewing Live happens every single day at the Cup Republic Facebook page and also YouTube. If you are looking for more content, please do utilize the search function in there. And I tell you, you're gonna learn about it there. A lot of things in there. All right? Maraming salamat. This is Life Coach Shaun, mentally fit to serve you in behalf of Life Coach Philippines. This is us in the Philippines. Thank you very much. La bam boom, la bam boom, la bam boom. See you everyone tomorrow. Have a blessed Sunday. Bye-bye.